Hi, good morning. I'm Buzz Stoddard with Cruising Yachts here in beautiful Marina del Rey, introducing to you our latest listing on a beautiful 2006 Beneteau 57. It's with particular interest that I'm able to show this boat to you. I sold it to the current owners some years ago, and they have done a remarkable job upgrading almost every aspect of this boat with the finest and best quality features that imagine on a world-class cruising boat. So a few items I'd like to point out to start with. Up on the bow here, you'll notice that tremendous stainless steel plate, the highly polished Danforth style stainless steel anchor. We have the electric furler, and of course the windlass on the deck, and we have a very large sail locker just after the inner forestay. Some of the noticeable features for the bow of the boat here. We might actually go up the mast while we're here to point out a few features. They do have a stabilized satellite antenna. And then, of course, the radar and the radar reflector. As you go to the masthead, you'll notice the camera just forward off to port there, which is controlled remotely with a joystick and presented onto the large screen TV. You can barely see the round, flat TV antenna on the back of the mast crane there, and also you might notice the running backstays, which we'll explain a little later as well. I cannot represent that the steps go with the boat. That's between buyer and seller, but they're beautiful. They're made with marine plywood, fiberglassed over, and then painted with extremely high quality paint. These are Douglas fir, but the rails are pure teak, and there's a non-skid built into it. They're extremely stable, and a very, very nice set of stairs. Just an indication of the detail that's gone into this boat. This is our forward sail locker, great for storing fenders, sails, and also we have the windlass remote control as well. It's great on a long-range cruising boat to have that kind of storage facility. Notice the size of the pad eyes. It's set up for asymmetric spinnaker, and all of the opening hatches, the skylights. It's very light and airy down below. And the bow pulpit here is extended and raised from what you'll normally see on a sailboat, which is a very handy thing. There are brackets for a kayak as well, popular items. And then as we go a bit aft, just forward of the mast, we have the self-tending staysail sheet. And this allows you to short tack by yourself up a narrow channel without having to deal with the winches. Very large turning blocks at the base of the mast. And in addition to the electric furler on the jib, we also have an electric furler in the mast for the mainsail. So it's all push-button sailing. Large, very sturdy looking vang there. And these spars are also painted. I think, as I recall, that was about a $4,500 upgrade to paint the spars, but they're beautiful in the gleaming white. Here we have our running backs. They're led to large pad eyes aft. This is just to hold it in place. We don't need them very often, but if you had very heavy weather conditions, you were sailing with your staysail alone, these attach to the upper spreader where the inner forestay attaches. And here's the actual backstay block and tackle to secure that mast in pretty much any conditions. The mast also features mast pulpits, which really help when you're working with the mast. And on the other side we have a mast mounted winch. We don't do a lot of those anymore because everything is led back to the cockpit, but there are occasions when you really would like to have a winch on the mast, and it's there for that. The Beneteau 57 has a number of big boat features that are enviable in the sailing community. One of them is the very large after deck, which is flush. It features some huge lockers. They store most anything. We have the stern rail seats, and again, the stern rail itself is raised higher than on most boats. And of course, our wonderful, enormous cockpit, featuring a beautiful varnished table and helm seat, a refrigerator in the table, and wonderful, comfortable cockpit cushions throughout. And we'll look at that in some more detail as well. The main traveler is aft here, out of the way, and we have a couple of large dorade type vents with the vent guards as well. We're going to demonstrate for you the swim step and the transom door, and so you can see how easily that is operated. And here's how the transom door turns into a beautiful swim step. And now with the hatch open, you have wonderful steps going down. There's a dedicated life raft locker in the stairs, and then you have wonderful boarding steps with teak treads that are very easy to access the swim step for water sports and dinghy access. And of course we have shore power outlets aft as well as forward, so you can run those. We've got a shower back aft here and a wash down. Just pretty much everything that you need. Notice the nice step detail going into the cockpit, and of course our line locker, which is handy with the winch pocket inside. And also we have a wonderful Dodger. A lot of stainless steel in the Dodger and Bimini. They're very secure. You can hang on to them. Leather wrapped handles, and lots of window space for viewing. And the Dodge is secured to the attractive and very functional windshield as well. Note the winches. Primary winches are very substantial. They're Harken, which means there's 2-speed electric, and you can control all of your rigging from right here, either side, with electric winches, making the sailing fully push button. The first thing we always notice in this cockpit is the beautiful varnished bright work in the cockpit combing, the table, and the teak is wonderfully sealed as well. There's a large seat locker aft here, and just below the speakers for the stereo. And then of course our first cabin table, and featuring a refrigerator. So it's really nice. The varnished helm seat is super comfortable, very nice, and you've got a place to keep your glasses and binoculars, cameras, whatever you have there. Forward on our helm area, we have controls for both the main and jib electrical furling. Various lights, horns, all of that stuff. Off to the port side you have the bow thruster control, and here we have the bracket for the remote mic, and of course the E120, it's the latest and greatest electronics, our autopilot and a tri-data and a wind machine. And then forward we have a large compass along with our instrument panel. So everything is right at your fingertips. You know everything about the boat from where you're sitting here and can pretty much control it as well. Welcome to the main salon in this beautiful Beneteau 57. Notice the finish on the woodwork. It's absolutely beautiful. The woodwork itself includes a lot of curved pieces, more difficult and expensive to build. But the effect is absolutely wonderful. Double stitched leather upholstery. Note the inset leather inlay details. Nice lighting. Lots of lockers, shelf space. The keel stepped mast is beautifully enclosed. We have the large screen TV. There's actually 4 TVs on board. Each cabin has its own. We have a wonderful main dinette, along with a couple of occasional chairs that do have a lockdown. They're very comfortable. And then the bookshelf, again, more storage. We have these wonderful skylights, so it's very bright in here all the time. And then over here, we have our clock and barometer. The bar, of course, we're sailors. And the ice maker, wouldn't be complete without it. And we have down here the battery switches and emergency fuel cutoff. A beautiful set of companionway stairs. If you note the detailing of the laminate between the Mowabi and the French light oak in the laminate on the steps, it's attractive, along with the handrails themselves. The woodwork is amazing. There's a wet locker in here for convenient storage there. And let's have a look at the galley. The galley features a very nice, spacious refrigerator, as well as a large deep freeze next to it. It's got the microwave, it's got dry goods storage, and the built-in dishwasher, built-in 4-burner stove with oven, with an exhaust fan over, double stainless steel sinks, and just about everything you could want in a kitchen. It's beautiful. This is the starboard guest cabin. The berths are effectively queen size. You've got your own TV. There's Apple TV on board and other TV systems. And you've got your own air conditioning control, a beautiful private head with a separate shower. And check the vanity out in that lab. Even the heads are first class. The port cabin, equally functional and attractive, providing privacy, plenty of light, opening hatches, and again a very nice private head. The companionway, as we head back, features the day head, which also has a shower. So we're up to 4 heads now, and it's very functional. Over here next to the engine room, we have our electrical panel. We have the 12 volt, the 24 volt, and the 110 volt. It's all covered with custom plastic guards for protection, but the switches, circuit breakers are easily accessible. We use 24 volts on boats like this because the runs are just too long for 12 volt, but we have to have 12 volt for the instrumentations. That's all 12 volt stuff. As we move a little farther back, you'll see the control panel for the generator. It's got a new ONAM. I think it's 12 kW. Have to check that. The water maker indicators and the electrical panel for the genset. The engine room is amazing. The engine was recently rebuilt with a new transmission, new generator, a new sea recovery, aqua whisper water maker, very high capacity. We also have a large capacity inverter which uses a smooth sine wave, so specialized electronics won't be affected by the square sine waves that most inverters put out, and also a new charger forward of that. You can see the Raycor filters. Everything's easily accessible for maintenance and access, and extremely well well-insulated. The sound level on this boat with the engines and so forth going is amazingly quiet. Continuing aft, we have our wine chiller, which is a delight to have on board, and a beautiful installation as well. Entering the owner's stateroom, we have a nice vanity, locker space, bookshelves, a lovely settee, nice built-in lighting, gorgeous king-size bed with lots of ventilation, opening ports and hatches. One of the great features of the center cockpit is having a magnificent stateroom like this, and all of the storage that you need to go with it. And of course, featuring a very nice private head as well. Everything beautifully finished, separate stall shower. It's all you could want in a first-class sailing vessel. Thanks for joining us on our tour of this magnificent Beneteau 57. And notice it has no name, so you may start afresh with the name for the boat. Give us a call here at Cruising Yachts in Marina del Rey, or call me, Buzz Stoddard, on my cell, 818-404-4479. Thanks a lot.